Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. and today we're going to be doing a music reaction. Reaction to music conspiracy theories. Cause why the hell not? And this is a channel called from Heavy. Great name. And this is the craziest rock music conspiracy theories. But I'm not alone. Holy crap, you're slow. Get the... Sit your stupid ass down.
Hi.
Hello, look. I know he has a creepy stash. You can make fun of him. I give you permission. But yeah, this you're the music guy here.
Yeah.
You're the guy that has all the music.
Yeah, I have a massive collection of music, and when I started talking about stuff that was pissing me off about music conspiracies, he's just like, no, shut up.
Oh, yeah,
We're gonna do a reaction to this.
He rants. He's the only one that can do like a 17-minute. This video is 17 minutes long. This could go to like an hour and a half just by him ranting. It won't, hopefully, but it could.
Yeah.
Alrighty, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty, you all ready? Let's go.
From the sinister hidden meanings behind popular songs to the secret deaths of famous musicians, in this video, we'll uncover some of the craziest
already. To the secret deaths of musicians?
That's apparently, yeah.
Okay, continue.
Elvis is alive!
conspiracy theories that have been circulating within rock music,
Oh,
like the theory that claimed Led Zeppelin intentionally hid satanic references in their song Stairway to Heaven, claiming they could only be heard when the track was played in reverse.
Backwards it says, "Here's to my sweet Satan."
This theory
Where if you play it backwards, something demonic is said.
Yeah. While I'm here, because I'm here for a couple of days, so I'm gonna probably take over the channel for a week. I got a series of videos for you to watch.
Okay.
So we'll watch them together with one of my friends, Steve Terry Berry, Stevie T. Continue.
gained so much steam that the federal government would even investigate these claims and later pass legislation against these secret messages in music. However, perhaps the most infamous instance of a song containing terrifying hidden messages involves the Beatles and the supposed death of Paul McCartney. In 1969, rumors of backmasked messages in Beatles songs fueled the Paul is dead conspiracy theory, which claims that Paul McCartney died in a car crash on November 9th, 1966. In a subsequent attempt to cover up his death, the band enlisted a man named William Shears Campbell, who had won a Paul McCartney look-alike competition the year before, to take his...
I will admit, that's pretty fucking...
Huh?
That's pretty fucking close. When it comes to look-alike.
You're not buying this shit, are you?
No, I'm saying, it's close to look-alike.
It's the same fucking person.
his place. Supporters of this theory highlight the physical
It's a conspiracy, Josh.
disparities between the first Paul and the fake Paul. Notably, fake Paul exhibits variations in his physical attributes,
He's got a stash, of course.
such as different ears, height, and green eyes instead of brown. As Beatles fans delved deeper into their music, they began to notice a consistent pattern. Paul McCartney seemed to be frequently set apart from the rest of the band. On the cover of Abbey Road, Paul stands out with his right foot forward, opting to go barefoot, while the rest of the band have their left foot forward and are wearing shoes. Additionally, during the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, each member of the band wore a red carnation, with the exception of Paul, who opted for a black carnation. According to the theory, on the morning of November 9th, 1966, there was a huge argument between Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, leading Paul to abruptly leave. It is claimed that McCartney was involved in a car accident following his departure, and tragically lost his life. Interestingly enough, several elements depicted on the album cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band appear to support.
You want to know a fun, disturbing fact about this album cover?
Sure.
There's some people that John wanted to put on the album cover but got rejected. And one of them, unsurprisingly, was Hitler. Don't think you're gonna get that one on.
No, I don't think if not.
First of all, I would like to point out that one thing that this guy did his research is already factually gone. Ringo left, not Paul. Just pointing that out.
This theory. The most prominent clue is set to be revealed when a mirror is held up to the text on the front. It supposedly unveils a secret message that reads 119 he die, with an arrow pointing towards Paul. 119 in this case representing the date of Paul's alleged death, November 9th. On the back cover, Paul is the sole individual not facing forward, while George Harrison directs attention to a lyric that states, Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock as the day begins, and November 9th, 1966 fell on a Wednesday. Another compelling piece of evidence is found on the album cover of Abbey Road. In the background, a Volkswagen Beetle can be seen standing alone with a license plate bearing the cryptic message 28 if. This suggests that Paul would have turned 28 if he had not met an untimely demise, assuming
The amount of bullshit that these people have to come up with. Sure, look-alike contest. Yeah, you know, some people can be convinced it's different people. But like, 28 if. It's a fucking license plate.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, the lyrics to Wednesday, whatever the fuck. It's, 119 he died.
119 he died is what funny one.
Looked like Roman fucking numerals to me.
And then they just, that I think should part made me laugh was, I'm pretty sure he was just like 119 he died. That's the date. That's January. Not. I'm like.
And it just so happened to fall on a Wednesday.
Well, also
The
part that made me
amount
laugh.
of work you have to do to come up with your bullshit.
Also, the part that made me laugh, if it's January 9th, 119 would be January 19th. So his own information's wrong.
of course, that he did pass away. It is also believed that the band intentionally left hidden messages in their music that reveal Paul McCartney is dead. At the end of the song I'm So Tired, John Lennon says, Monsieur, 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 how about another one? However, when played in reverse, listeners hear, in the closing moments of the song Strawberry Fields Forever, Lennon sings a line that is commonly interpreted as, quote, cranberry sauce. However, there is a popular belief that he actually uttered the words,
It was around, I don't know the year, but I know the album was around Magical Mystery Tour. When it started, because like John, the Walrus was Paul, all that shit. And then it just got out of control.
Because I'm just wondering what, like, someone even.
It's also, why the fuck does the fact whether you're wearing shoes or not mean that you're dead?
I also just found hilarious because, like, who just came up with this? My other part was fun of, like, why are people playing songs backwards in the first place?
I don't know.
Like, who? If I listen to a song, the last thing on my mind is, I wonder what that sounds like if I play it backwards.
Yeah.
My brain would probably go, it probably sounds like shit.
I buried Paul. Adding to this theory, the song's title is derived from a cemetery located near John Lennon's childhood home in Liverpool, named Strawberry Field. Finally, the repeated loop of number 9 on the song Revolution 9 further fueled the conspiracy when it was suggested that, when played in reverse, it sounded like Turn Me On Dead Man.
Turn me on,
The Paul is dead theory was named among 10 of the world's most enduring conspiracy theories by Time magazine in 2009, and McCartney himself has even referenced the theory with the title and cover art of his 1993 album, Paul is Live. In 2009, the musician would address the phenomenon head-on during an appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman.
Yeah, no, what happened was we did a cover for a record called Abbey Road, and the idea was to walk across the crossing, and I showed up that day with sandals, flip-flops, and so it was so hot that I kicked them off and walked across barefooted. So this started some rumor that because he was barefooted, he's dead.
And how do you manage something like that? Because it was a global rumor, and
Yeah. I mean, you know, I just laughed at it.
well, that was the idea. That was the other part of it, that there was a guy who looked like you taking your place.
No, well, this is him.
Replacement theories are prevalent in the rock music world, but none have had more real-life consequences than the next one on our list. For decades, one particular rumor surrounded Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx, who some believe was replaced by a man named Matthew John Tripp. According to the story, a 19-year-old Tripp left home in Erie, Pennsylvania in 1982 and headed to Los Angeles in hopes of making it in the music industry. Upon his arrival in LA, Tripp frequented bars along the Sunset Strip, eagerly seeking an opportunity to kickstart his career. It was during this time that he crossed paths with Motley Crue guitarist Mick Mars, who approached Tripp with the news of Nikki Sixx's injury in a car accident. Crue had recently signed a deal with Elektra Records, and they needed someone to stand in as the bassist to avoid being dropped by the label. Tripp responded by saying he could play bass, prompting Mars to invite Tripp to an audition in front of the band's manager, Doc McGhee. After impressing McGhee, Tripp was offered the position of the new bass player in Motley Crue and presented with a contract to sign. However, when he began to write Matthew Tripp, McGhee stopped him and said he should sign as Nikki Sixx. Tripp then began his new life as the replacement Nikki Sixx. He lived with Tommy Lee, played shows all over the world, and even wrote tracks like Looks at
What the fuck is that?
First, there's multiple parts of this. So first of all, the way to describe this is like the main guy got injured in a car accident, so the guy took his place. Don't you think the guy in the accident would kind of be annoyed in the scenario if he just got replaced like nothing?
This theory.
Has so many problems.
So, you know, I've heard a lot of theories. This is the first one that I've never heard. I think there's a reason.
It's full of shit.
Because it's more full of shit than Paul's dead.
Paul's dead.
Kill, Girls, 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 and Wild Side. Tripp's tenure in Motley Crue came to an abrupt end in 1984, when he was unceremoniously ousted from the band due to the return of the real Nikki Sixx, who sought to reclaim his true identity. After this pivotal moment, Tripp descended into a life of crime, resulting in numerous arrests and extended periods of incarceration. However, this is where our story takes a dark turn, because unlike the Paul is dead theory, which was spread around by fans, the Nikki Sixx replacement theory came from none other than Tripp himself. In reality, Tripp had a documented history of
So it's not a theory.
It's
He's just unwell.
So hold on. So he says the theory, so it has to be true. This makes it. The theory couldn't be more serious. It came from the fake guy himself. Who thought of this? Who thought of? How did he act? What?
Because I've heard of imposters.
Yep.
Like people pretending to be Peter Criss or Don Henley or Randy Meisner, trying to get like free shit and sell it off or whatever. Because Rock and Roll True Stories is a channel that I dig a lot that talks about crazy shit like this, but they haven't touched this.
Probably for a reason. They're probably just like, this is too far even for us.
Continue.
of mental illness, which presumably led him to believe his delusions that he had at one point been a member of Motley Crue. In 1988, he sent a makeshift case file to Kerrang! Magazine that outlined his claims, with the publication shockingly choosing to run the story. That
Oops.
Oh, my.
Cheat sheet, cheat sheet. Why would that?
Why would you actually write that? Why would you actually write that?
I got nothing for that. Continue.
same year, Tripp filed a lawsuit against Motley Crue in an attempt to obtain
I bet he
royalties for songs he claimed to have written, and said he had copyright forms to back up his assertions. The lawsuit was dismissed on December 10th, 1993, and Tripp retreated from the public eye. In 2014, the real Nikki Sixx would finally speak publicly on the situation, stating, "Tripp basically just wanted my life, and we started doing the research on this guy, and he had been in a mental institution in Erie, Pennsylvania. At the time, I remember it freaking me out so much that I had a 357 that I started carrying in my car, cause I just had this weird feeling that this guy could just pop up at any moment. I didn't know if my life was in danger." That same year, Tripp died as a result of liver failure. And speaking of death, there are many notorious conspiracy theories suggesting that certain musicians may have faked their own deaths, with some even reporting sightings of these deceased rock stars. One such example involves Elvis Presley, whose 1977 death has been the subject of much scrutiny. Immediately after the King's passing, eyebrows were raised due to the medical examiner announcing the cause of death before Presley's autopsy was completed. This premature revelation sparked allegations of a cover-up and birthed a long-standing conspiracy theory suggesting that Elvis faked his own death.
How did he die?
Barbiturate overdose, I think. He died on the sugar.
Unless it was, I guess, I feel like that would only make sense if the, like, it's painfully obvious.
Maybe he gave the cause of death for toxicology.
Because I've been there, because I'm like, just some cases where you can just look and be like, yeah, that's how you died. Most cases.
It's just like they did, like,
Oh.
recent events. Like today, we just did an autopsy on Matthew Perry. Drowning, but they're still waiting for the toxicology results.
Yeah.
So it could be the thing where they cause death without toxicology.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
Death to escape the pressures of fame. Supporters also point to a photograph of Presley in his open coffin, arguing that it bears a resemblance to a wax figure. Skeptics have also questioned the authenticity of the King's tombstone. Their argument revolves around the spelling of Elvis Presley's middle name, Aaron, which should have a single A, whereas on his tombstone, it is spelled with two A's. The intentional misspelling was supposedly
Starbucks has butchered the spelling of my ex's name. K-H-A-E-L-S-E-Y. Typos are a thing.
That's nice.
Of course they're gonna get it right on the fucking stone. Oops. If you get it wrong on fucking documents.
Those probably are documents you probably should have them right.
Oh, yeah, alright. But
But
I'm just saying.
That, yeah. We're both shitty as spelling, doesn't mean nothing.
done to avoid any taboo associated with using his real name on a tombstone while he was still alive. There are even those who speculate that his widow Priscilla may have accidentally revealed that Elvis was alive during an interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show. In this interview, she appears to imply that she had recently conversed with Elvis, and then, almost as if realizing her slip-up, she turns to face the camera, suggesting she had not intended to reveal this news.
And it's exactly what you said the other day. Oh, right. Oh.
There have been countless alleged sightings of Presley even after his death. Fans have even gone as far as forming the Elvis Sighting Society to monitor these incidents, which include a supposed appearance by Presley in the background of the 1990 film Home Alone. Similarly, there have been claims by conspiracy theorists that Jim Morrison
This is my bread and butter. It's my favorite band of all time. Hold on, I'm not done talking. Of all the ones that fake death, whatever, little bit of sense.
Okay, can I play it? Okay.
Morrison of The Doors was found living as a homeless man in New York City after faking his own death in 1971. Morrison's bandmate, John Densmore, has even supported the theory, suggesting that it would have been in Morrison's character to disappear completely.
And he went and called and said, Jim's dead, and he didn't see him. It was a closed casket, hence the rumors, you know. And Jim was a crazy guy who no one I've ever met would be more capable of faking their death than him.
Morrison was found dead at age 27 in the bathtub of his Paris, France apartment by his girlfriend Pamela Courzon. The precise details surrounding Morrison's death remain disputed, as French authorities waived an autopsy.
I was supposed to be said.
Corson.
Corson?
Coruscant. Tirson.
I've heard some weird bad pronunciations of names. That's.
At Pamela's request. Furthermore, she managed to arrange a quick, no questions asked burial by misleading the American embassy, claiming that Morrison had no immediate family. However, the truth behind the singer's death was sadly lost forever, when Pamela also passed away just a few years later. Unsurprisingly, this has given rise to several conspiracy theories surrounding the events of that fateful night in 19.
Yeah, hold on. Yep.
Oh, that irks me.
I think it's because I'm pretty sure that's. Yeah.
They were never married. So I don't understand why it's there.
Yeah, that is weird then. Yeah, that is weird.
Also passed away just a few years later. Unsurprisingly, this has given rise to several conspiracy theories surrounding the events of that fateful night in 1971, including one suggesting that Morrison's demise was a carefully orchestrated assassination committed by the CIA, alleging a plot to remove a significant figure of the rising counterculture movement that had pervaded the Western world over the previous decade. And speaking of the CIA, next, we'll take a look at the highly classified Wind of Change theory. According to a rumor supposedly originating from within the Central Intelligence Agency itself, there is a belief that the song Wind of Change by the German band The Scorpions was actually crafted by the agency as a cultural weapon to destabilize the Soviet Union. You see,
Y'all just come up with anything, won't ya? Y'all just have to find something. How do you even come up with that?
What the fuck?
Who came up with that?
What the fuck?
That's gotta be one of the most stupidest ones I've heard.
Because the reason the Jim one, it makes a tiny bit of sense. Closed casket, no autopsy, no toxicology.
Just that's how he died, and that's the end of the story.
This is it. This is what you're being told. You know, whatever. I believe it, obviously, but you know, if anything's fishy, it's that.
This one.
But this is ridiculous.
This is just. I don't even know how you come up with this one.
back in the communist 1970s, rock music was strictly forbidden in the Soviet Union. This ban stemmed from its close ties to the United States, and the perception that the genre's rebellion stemmed from its close music was strictly forbidden in the Soviet Union. This ban stemmed from its close ties to the United States, and the perception that the genre's rebellious spirit of individualism posed a threat to the USSR. Yet in the mid-1980s, Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev embarked on a mission to reshape the nation, and as a result, allowed foreign rock bands to perform in Russia for the first time. This led to the formation of the Moscow Music Peace Festival in 1989. 1969, showcasing iconic bands such as Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, and of course, the Scorpions. After witnessing the remarkable transformations taking place in Russia, Scorpions frontman Klaus Meine wrote the song Wind of Change, which celebrated the social and political changes that were happening in Eastern Europe at the time. The song quickly became a revolutionary anthem, and in just a few months after its release, the Soviet Union officially disintegrated. In his 8-part podcast series, author Patrick Keefe delves into the conspiracy theory and uncovers the suspicious fact that, prior to Wind of Change, Meine had never written an entire song on his own. Furthermore, the podcast suggests that it is not entirely implausible for the CIA to have written the song, considering their past involvement in funding the production of the Animal Farm film in 1954 as a cultural weapon against communism. In 2020, Meine himself responded to the podcast and their investigation.
It's a very entertaining and really crazy story, you know, but it's, like I said, it's not true at all. It's fake news.
Nevertheless, among all conspiracy theories, none has amassed more compelling evidence in support of its claims than the one we will delve into next. In June of 1972, David Bowie released his iconic album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. This rock opera tells the story of the titular character, who is sent to Earth as a savior in the face of an impending apocalyptic disaster. However, some speculate that certain songs, as well as the album cover itself, predicted the birth of controversial rapper Kanye West, portraying him as a successor of sorts. The cover depicts Bowie seated beneath a sign bearing the letters K West, often interpreted as a reference to Kanye West. Furthermore, the album's opening track is titled 5 Years, and interestingly enough, Kanye West was born 5 years after the song's release. However, the story doesn't end there, as just 2 days prior to his death, David Bowie released his final album, Black Star. Many speculate that this album served as Bowie's way of passing the torch to Kanye for various reasons. One significant factor is the belief that Bowie had consulted a psychic in the late 70s, who predicted his death at the age of either 70 or 69. Remarkably, Bowie passed away at the age of 69 in 2016, indicating that
whether it was a psychic, I don't know. But Bowie did basically predict his own death, as did John Lennon. Not in the exact way, but he did set something up. Kanye West. I'm speechless by how absurd.
This one's hilarious. It's just hilarious.
It's full of people. Now, if he had released a fucking song titled the exact birthday of Kanye West, maybe there's some suspicious of what? Just play the video.
he was aware of his impending demise. Then on the opening track, Bowie tells the story of a leader dying and someone else coming to take his place, singing, "Something happened on the day he died. Spirit Rosa meter then stepped aside. Somebody else took his place and bravely cried, 'I'm a black star, I'm a black star.'" It is widely believed that this is a reference to Kanye West, who is literally a black star, assuming Bowie's role.
Hold on. Are you?
Because he's a black star.
He's a black star.
Just Jesus Christ. Kendrick Lamar is a black star too. Fuck's sake.
In the music industry. Finally, the third track on Black Star is titled Lazarus, a reference to the biblical story of Lazarus who was resurrected by Jesus Christ. In a similar vein, the third track on Kanye's 2013 album Yeezus is titled I Am a God, in which he positions himself as Jesus, symbolically resurrecting Bowie within his own music following Bowie's passing. Back in 1977, Bowie would reflect on
Also, Kanye is the type of guy that would admit if he learned of this theory, would do a whole bunch of stuff to add to it.
He'd do an album completely based on it.
Yeah.
how the lore surrounding the Ziggy Stardust character slipped out of his control, stating,
So Ziggy was for me a very simplistic thing. It was what it seemed to be, an alien rock star, and for performance value, I dressed him and acted him out. I left it at that, but other people reread him and contributed more information about Ziggy than I had put into him.
And as far as the significance of K West on the album art goes, it turns out that the choice of location had no profound reasoning behind it. Rather, it was simply a store located close to the photo studio where the album booklet photo shoot took place. The K in the sign represented the name of the store owner, Henry Kahn, while the term West indicated its location on the western side of London. In the end, much like the other conspiracy theories presented in this video, this appears to be a series of mere coincidences lacking any significant correlation. If you liked this video, then you'll
Unbelievable. Fuck's sake. Unbelievable. Go away. What are you doing? Yeah. Okay.
Give away location. Oh, fuck.
Thoughts on the video?
I'm hurting, Josh. What a pain in the ass. Some of those theories.
I don't know who comes up with this stuff.
It's
It's
bullshit.
yes. There's special people.
Alright, I want to show you some videos that we don't have to film a reaction to.
Okay.
If you don't want to. Just music.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let us know which thought of these ridiculously fucking stupid theories in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you for the next one.